I recently listened to a speech given by Madeline Murray O'Hare. I typically would never describe anything as thought-provoking, and in fact would respond to such a description placed on anything with a derisive snort and the phrase, "I do not need to be provoked into thinking." However, I now understand that description a little better, and while I still have no need of provocation to think, I recognize that there are still certain things that can and do provide such provocation. For me, her speech did just that. I started thinking about the past, how far the U.S. has gotten in just the last 43 years since she gave that speech. We now have the means of massive communication she spoke about, even more than the telephone, radio, print, and television could ever offer as a combined force. Her speech also mentioned the atheists sitting on their asses, how they let religion slowly usurp this country that was founded by men who hated Christianity, men who were deists at most. I look at us now using the internet and social and political activism to spread the idea of rigid, unbending secularism, something we would not have to do had the atheists of the past not sat on their asses. We are not fighting for a new idea or a new America. We are not trying to conquer a Christian nation. We are trying to reacquire the once great nation that we had, a nation that believed in religious freedom and freedom from religion, a nation that kept religion in check with presidential veto after veto, a nation that did not subsidize religious organizations, establish state-paid-for churches in its military, or allow religions to persecute and oppress its citizens in the name of moral ideology. I look at us now and I see a hint of possibility. I see those already giving voice to reason and thought, helping those who would wish to do the same. I see religion being slapped to the proverbial floor with the tools of reason, rationale, logic, knowledge, truth, and reality. I see religious leaders desperately attacking the very thing that brings them the tools to launch those attacks and being called out for it. I see religion desperately coming up with ever-increasingly fallacious and fictitious arguments. I see religion desperately holding on to past power now being lost. I see religion desperately spreading hate in an attempt to nullify the validity of those that oppose them. I see religion desperately crying foul when they are stopped in their attempts to make political victims of those they see as sinners. I also see atheists becoming ever increasingly strident, asserting their reason and their will against those who would violate the liberty of others. I see atheists supporting their elected and self-proclaimed spokespersons with admiration and encouragement. I see atheists developing a sense of community where even the meekest of us is welcome. I see atheists recognizing that with numbers comes strength, and with strength comes confidence, and with confidence comes the will to assert that strength. I see religion backpedaling and giving ground. I see religion desperately misusing science in attempts to prove their preconceived notions of reality. I see religion desperately and laughably asserting absurdities in attempts to reconcile doctrine with reality. I see religion desperately seeking solutions to ever more obvious inconsistencies, contradictions, and immoralities. I see religion desperately clinging to self-proclaimed moral authority as that rung is ripped from their grasp by social progress and political change. I see religion desperately manipulating the easily manipulated members of our society. I see religion desperately trying to hide its true ugliness and immorality behind a clear glass pane of accusation, fallacy, and cowardice. I see atheists showing people that without religion and with reason, we as a community, as a town, as a city, as a county, as a state, as a country, as a world would be better prepared, better informed, and straight up better off. I see atheists demonstrating that seeking answers is better than assuming them. I see atheists showing that wisdom lies in the ability to admit ignorance and ask questions rather than in knowing ancient lore, myth, and fictions. I see atheists showing that without religion we can make a better future for our descendants. I see atheists showing those descendants that in these times, in our currently modern world, in a time where religion spreads like a viral plague throughout most of the world, that there were people who knew better, who fought the noble fight for knowledge, reason, and truth. Thank you.